As somebody who does travel in this business, sometimes it's tough to adhere to Jewish traditions. This is not... There is no Shabbos in the sports television business. You know, this is a 7-day-a-week, 365-day-a-year business. And I know this is going to sound like heresy to some of your audience, but that's the way this business works.
In other words, if you don't do it, if you won't work Fridays...
Okay, if you don't work, you don't make money. There's no sick days. There's no paid days off.
They'll stop calling you.
Exactly. You kind of have to make yourself available 365 days a year. Like we told you earlier, it's not a lifestyle for everybody. This year, I will be... Okay, let me rephrase. I have gone to high holiday services in several different cities over the years. Places like Lawrence, Kansas. Places like Moscow, Idaho. Places like Raleigh, North Carolina. Because I've had games there on high holidays. That's the way this works. I'm fortunate. This coming Yom Kippur, I'm going to be in San Jose doing a hockey game that night for NBC, and I'm going to need to find the San Jose State Hillel and probably walk over there for services that morning. You know, that's...
You feel conflicted?
It is conflicted, and it is difficult, but that's the way this business is, and if you want to be a success, that's just how you have to make it work. It's not easy, and it is emotionally difficult sometimes. You know, but fortunately, I've had to go online. The internet is a great help for this, to be able to find services in faraway, obscure places where you might not think there's much of a Jewish community. I did Yom Kippur services in Moscow, Idaho, with the Jewish community of the Palouse, which is this barren rural area where Washington State University and the University of Idaho are. It's on the Washington-Idaho border. It's an hour and a half from the nearest major city. Hold that thought. And I went to services there. It was in somebody's house with about 20 Jewish people, all there in somebody's house, reading Yom Kippur prayers together. In a traditional synagogue setting, absolutely not. But here are a collection of Jews, you know, not much more than people to walk around this compound right now.
But how many Jewish people are there who work in broadcast engineering?
Probably none. Probably I was the only one.
So on a given truck, on a given crew, are you typically the only Jewish guy?
Well, it depends on where I am. Not so much in a market like Los Angeles where you have a heavy Jewish population.
But it may not be in broadcast engineering.
We go to places where there's a very high Jewish community.
Right.
In fact, early in my career, it's funny, I used to actually open up the phone book and look up to see how many synagogues were in a given city. Anytime I went to a new place, I would get the synagogue in the hotel, get the phone book in the hotel room back when hotel rooms had phone books, and actually look and try to find synagogues, see how many were listed. There are synagogues in pretty obscure places. You wouldn't expect there to be one.
Have you experienced anti-Semitism working in a predominantly Gentile field?
Fortunately, no. I have not. That's a great question to ask. I haven't.
Not overtly.
Not overtly. Not overtly. Now, could there be some hidden under the radar anti-Semitism? Certainly. But you're not really going to find it. I mean, admittedly, the engineering field is not a heavy Jewish population, but there's still many Jewish people who work in this. I've worked with some fantastic Jewish producers and directors. By and large, though, here's the thing about this business. It is a very egalitarian business. As long as you can execute when the light goes on and the show starts, they don't care if you're...
Al-Qaeda, doesn't matter.
Pretty much you could be Jewish, you could be Christian, you could be Muslim, you could be black, you could be Asian, you could be Hispanic. It's a very egalitarian business. As long as you can execute when the light goes on, it really doesn't matter who you are. And I am Jewish, but I'm not defined by being on these trucks as the Jewish guy.
But not in the truck, but how about you guys go out for meals and things afterwards? Do you feel any exclusion or marginalization?
No, we're just, that's the thing. It's a very egalitarian and warm business. Everybody, as long as you can execute, everybody gets along by and large pretty well. I mean, are you going to have conflicts with people? Of course, because we're all people, we're all different personalities, and we all have to come together sometimes with very little time beforehand and put on a show.
Right.
You learn very quickly in this business, you have to get along with people. I had my specialty. And because there's a job to do. There's a show to put on. And that's bigger than any of your personal issues. You check your personal issues at the door. Because there's a show that you've got to do, and you're being counted on to do your part. TV is a very communal exercise. One person makes a mistake, it really doesn't matter who. Everybody looks bad.
Suffers, just like baseball.
Exactly, like in baseball. Somebody messes up, it doesn't really matter who messed up. Everybody looks bad.
But are Jews still? Do you feel like Jews are a minority working in this field, as opposed to fields where everyone's Jewish? You work in the garment business. You work in the entertainment business. This is different for you, isn't it?
Oh yes, to some extent, yeah. You're not going to find as many, I don't know, as many Jewish coworkers as an attorney might or an accountant might.
Right.
But that's, for me personally, I am Jewish. I'm proud to be Jewish, but I don't let Judaism completely define me.
You have a family?
I do. I have, my personally, I don't have, I'm unmarried, I don't have children, but I do have, both my parents are Jewish. I'm the grandchild of Holocaust survivors.
Wow.
And I have a brother and a sister. And yeah, I'm going to actually be here for the high holidays this year, and we'll all go to services together on Rosh Hashanah.
No ballgame?
No ballgame. That's actually right at the end of the season, October 3rd and 4th. I am actually off those 2 days, and then the next day I actually get on a plane to go to Albuquerque. So,
okay.
Yeah, it works out that Rosh Hashanah is on Monday and Tuesday this year. But no, 2 years ago, actually, I was doing a football game at Lindenwood University it's about 20 minutes west of St. Louis in Missouri. Now, Missouri's not exactly known for a heavy Jewish population.
Yeah, St. Louis.
But my girlfriend and I, she joined me for that trip. And we went out and we bought apples and we bought honey. And outside the truck we had apples, we dipped them in honey for Rosh Hashanah. So,
Outside the truck?
Outside the truck, yeah. Because you don't bring honey into a truck. That's going to make a mess. But, it's not easy to adhere to Jewish customs when you're on the road and traveling in this business. But every time that you can make it work. And going out and buying some apples and honey out in the middle,
Let me ask you a question. Aside from the crew, how about the directors? You feel that directors might discriminate against you in some way?
As long as you can execute, no. Again, they don't care. It's not an issue. They don't care if you're
right. But if you screw up, if you make a mistake, do you feel that they come down? Somebody might come down overly harshly?
No, absolutely not. No, they come down on here because you screwed up, not because of who you are.
Okay.
That's I gotta stress that.
Right.
If you make a mistake, they're not coming down on you because you're Jewish. They're coming down on you because you screwed up. That's
and
what
it'd be
matters.
the same regardless.
Exactly. This is a
Performance.
This business it's based on performance. It's a race and religious blind business.
Everybody gets an equal chance.
Everyone gets an equal chance. If you can perform, like I've been saying, if you can perform, you can execute. It really doesn't matter who you are, what you do on your own time.